Antoine Semenyo might just be one of the best wingers in the Premier League right now. And yes, one of the best in the world. You might hesitate to admit that because he plays for Bournemouth, but if you've actually watched him, you know this man is different. Against any opponent, he steps up. And right now, Europe's biggest clubs are realizing they may have made a huge mistake by not signing him. But seriously, why didn't anyone take the chance? This is why nobody signed Antoine Semenyo this summer. The easiest explanation is his contract. In July, Semenyo signed a new long-term deal with Bournemouth that keeps him at the club until 2030. So, on the surface, it looked like he was committed to staying. But the truth is much deeper than that. Before the summer transfer window even opened, Semenyo mentioned in an interview that he'd be open to a move to a big Champions League club. He just wanted to stay professional and achieve his goals with Bournemouth first. That tells you everything. He was ready for the move if the right offer came. But the clubs didn't capitalize. Semenyo had a brilliant 2024-25 season, scoring 11 Premier League goals and helping Bournemouth to a top-half finish. But there was one problem. It was his first ever season hitting double figures in any competition. Big. Clubs looked at that and thought maybe it was a one-season wonder. They assumed he was just benefiting from a strong Bournemouth system rather than being the system himself. They didn't want to take the risk, but that was a mistake because this season Bournemouth's system has changed, and Semenyo has only improved. He's scoring goals for fun and already challenging for the Premier League Golden Boot. After his brace against Fulham, only Erling Haaland had more league goals, while Semenyo led the league in total goal contributions. Imagine if he was doing that at Arsenal or Bayern right now. He'd already be in early Ballon d'Or conversations. Now, some people say big clubs didn't sign him because of tactical fit. But that doesn't hold up. Bayern Munich literally paid 70 million euros for Luis Diaz, who's 28 years old. Semenyo is 25, faster, more physical, and would have cost less. His release clause is around 65 million euros. So, if it wasn't tactical, what was it? Let's break it down. Barcelona couldn't afford him. Simple as that. They backed out of the Luis Diaz deal because of money issues and missed out on Nico Williams. For the same reason, there was no way they were paying 65 million for Semenyo. Bayern Munich could have afforded him, but preferred a player with more top-level experience. Diaz has played in a Champions League final, won the Premier League, and featured in a Copa America final. Semenyo, on the other hand, had only just broken through. Real Madrid were never really an option either. They already have too many wingers, and even Rodrigo struggles for minutes. There was simply no space for another player in that position. So, really, it was the Premier League clubs who missed the biggest opportunity. Liverpool were busy chasing centre-forwards like Ekitike and Isak, and in doing so, they ignored a player who could have been their next Sadio Mane. Imagine Semenyo running down the flank at Anfield. Electric pace, directness, energy. It would have fit perfectly. But Liverpool probably hesitated because Semenyo is what people call a maverick player. He's the kind who loves to take on defenders, take risks, and play with flair. Big clubs tend to prefer structured systems where everyone sticks to a clear pattern. We've seen what happens when a player like that moves to a more rigid team. Jack Grealish was magical at Aston Villa, but it took him a long time to adapt at Manchester City. That's the kind of fear clubs had with Semenyo. Manchester United actually came the closest. Reports say their manager even took Semenyo out to dinner to convince him to join. United were willing to pay over 60 million euros, but once they spent 75 million on Cunha, the move collapsed. Bournemouth demanded a similar fee. and United's wage offer wasn't good enough. In the end, Semenyo decided to stay where he was and sign the new deal. Arsenal, on the other hand, have no excuse. Semenyo had better numbers than Noni Madueke last season. He's more versatile, and he's a huge Arsenal fan. He would have cost about the same as other wingers on the market. It felt like the perfect move, but Arsenal just didn't act on it. And that might be something they regret soon. So why didn't anyone sign Antoine Semenyo this summer? Because the big clubs were cautious. They were afraid to take a risk on a player from a mid-table club. They wanted someone already proven on the biggest stages. But now, Semenyo is proving them wrong every single week. He's performing at a world-class level, improving game by game, and showing that potential doesn't always need a big club badge to shine. If he keeps this up, that $65 million release clause is going to look like a bargain next summer. Who do you think should sign Antoine Semenyo next? Arsenal, Bayern, or maybe even PSG? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next football story. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.